Is it warm down south?
It's warm down south. Yeah.
Well, it's still morning over here. I haven't stepped outside, but it's supposed to be warm.
Right.
Let's see.
That's west. That's just like
Yeah, out west.
Over there.
Way out west.
over there,
Out west. Yeah.
over the pond.
70 outside, but that's
70. What's Celsius? What's that Celsius? 21.
Yeah, probably.
21 in the morning. So it's like 9 o'clock in the morning. It's 21.
It's going to be a burn. It's going to be a burner then.
Yeah. Although, to be honest, it must have been about 18, 19 here at 9 o'clock this morning. It was quite warm.
If it was 19 here, we'd have a foot of snow on the ground.
No, you're not talking properly. You're talking Fahrenheit.
I know.
Bloody Germans. Oh, it's warm. Are we live?
Yeah, we are. Hey, we're live.
Right.
Come on in, everybody.
Aren't you supposed to tell us? I nearly said something there.
Oh, if you would have, it wouldn't have been bad. It
Nearly
wouldn't
got
have
us
been bad.
banned.
Wouldn't have gotten us banned. It's 21 degrees here, Celsius.
They would have demonetized us.
Oh,
Oh,
it's been that long. Fine.
we're not
Oh, yeah,
monetized.
they'd have demonetized us. That would have been terrible. We'd have gotten $0 of the $0 that we get off of this program.
Hey, do you know,
That
for
would've
my,
been
I got a check off Amazon once for YouTube for £7 for my Easter Island films.
Sweet.
Nothing,
Really?
yeah,
Right.
nothing since.
No,
One of them's had 5,000 views. How about
really?
that? Yeah.
Good Lord.
Is that the one you had to resubmit because of the music?
No, I'd learned by that point. I've got a letter signed by the guy who wrote the music saying I could use the music, and his bloody publishing won't let me use the music.
Come on, everybody. We see you out there. We're just getting stuff started. It's all part of the transparency. That's our excuse. That's our story. We're sticking to it. Come on in. It's Sunday Funnies. We got some Superman comics to look through. Superman from the 30s to the 70s. Great book. Great book. Can't wait for you to see all this stuff. We might actually get to a Mr. McSpidlick story. It'll be good.
I thought it was my Zeppelic when I was 9.
It's as a kid, it's just baby gibberish. So
Yeah,
the same. It's the exact same stuff that Sugar and Spike used to say by Sheldon Mayer.
Right.
The same lettering oddball combination.
It didn't take me long to drop DC when Jack Kirby came along, but the only thing I liked about DC was Kurt Swan, even though I didn't know his name at the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then when Gil Kane did Captain America in '66, I think I realized that he was the guy who drew Green Lantern.
Yeah,
that was it.
Green Lantern and the Atom. Yeah,
it didn't make me buy Green Lantern.
No.
In fact, I think I've only ever read one issue of Green Lantern. It was that good. I never read it again.
Yeah,
it's funny, isn't it? Because a lot of people swear by the Green Lantern and the Flash, and I've never been interested in those characters.
No.
And when I have read anything with them in, it's never really done much for me. So there you go. Not everybody likes everything.
They've been fun. They're not my favorite characters, but they're good characters. It's all good. Here's our opening. Let's go.
Dinky dink.
There we are. Come on in, folks. Sunday Funnies for the 29th of June. I believe this is our last show for June in
soon be Christmas
2025. Yeah. Another couple of blinks and it'll be Christmas for sure.
We've had the longest day, haven't we? 23rd, was it?
Already?
23rd?
Yeah. That was a couple of days ago.
Never mind.
I'm looking forward to the snow. I like the snow.
It's a rare appearance of Captain Equinox. few days ago. Yeah.
Not copyrighted, trademark.
I think it is. Yeah.
It is now.
It's an old Fire Sign Theater routine. By day, he's whoever, man about town. By night, it's Fifi, queen of the, wonder showgirls at the Queen's Club. But twice a year, he becomes Captain Equinox.
Yeah. Most of the year, he hides his sausage.
Ooh.
Not on an equinox.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I heard that. I'll have to go dig it up somewhere. But anyway, it's fun. Folks, I'm your host, Randy Zimmerman, Arrow Comics. My current gig is The Atlantean, which I'm writing, that Russ Leach is drawing. It's the adventures of Cull and Brule as they scour the lands, trying to rid the world of a race of shape-shifting lizard people off from the Shadow Kingdom. My light is really bad this morning up there for some reason. In the Shadow Kingdom, which we adapted, what was that, about 6 months ago?
Oh, yeah.
6-8 months ago? Yeah.
Yeah, last year.
Right off of the Robert E. Howard story, we took those characters and continued them on in The Atlantean. In 2 volumes are currently available. In the 3rd volume, we'll start the campaign for the middle of next month. So just Russ is just finishing up the pencils on that now.
We'll have 4 issues before the end of the year. There you go.
There we are. Yep, sure will. And each one just gets better than the last. So real happy with the progress on it. Very proud of the work. Hope you get a chance to read it and enjoy it. And if you do, please let us know. So other than that, it's Arrow Comics. You can look for hopefully a collection of Tales from the Aniverse, which was the first full title that I had printed way back 40 years ago by Arrow Comics. Been with Arrow Comics off and on ever since, mostly on. So happy to do that. I've done all sorts of products over the span of time. Just look me up on eBay or Amazon or where you get your books, and you should find a couple of things I've done. So happy to be here. This is Sunday Funnies, where we look at some great comics, great sequential art in whatever form we can find it. The more unusual, the better. And joining me this morning is Mr. Glenn Fleming. Glenn, please introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Glenn Fleming. I'm a writer, artist, and publisher. I write books. I've got 12 books on Amazon right now, different subjects. But this one is one of the best I've done. I think I really enjoyed doing this and working on it. It's about my visit to see the late great Jack Kirby at his home in California. Lots of pictures in there of me with Jack having lunch with him. And there you go. Go check it out. Get that on Amazon. I also draw, and I've got a character called Hatch on Fund My Comic. This is this book about his story through his life. Lots of published and unpublished work there. And just to show you how I work traditionally on artboard, pencils and colours and all sorts of stuff. Just like to draw. And occasionally I publish a magazine called Comics Unlimited, which is about comics, believe it or not. It's 100 pages. Randy and Russ have both been in there. Lots of articles and interviews in that. So that's on Amazon as well. So check it out.
All right. Also joining us this morning, Mr. Russ Leach. Russ, please introduce yourself. There we are.
Hi there, my name is Russ Leach. I'm a comic book artist from the UK, and yes, I am drawing the Atlantean at the moment. If you want to find out all about the Atlantean, go to russleach.com, sign up for that email list, and we'll keep you up to date with everything that's going on. We're really looking around the 18th of July. It's looking like we're going to have the campaign going, and then it will be out to retail, I would imagine, in September. So it's all going off. The first 2 and the Shadow Kingdom you can pick up at retail right now, as Randy said. If you go to my website, russleach.com, click on the merch tab. It's just up at the top there. It's like a red circle. It'll tell you all the direct links to Amazon or to Critical Blast. You can go to either of those, and the links are right there for you to go buy any of those products. So check out russleach.com and also sign up for that email list so we can let you know what's going on.
Great. And again, we are looking at Superman from the 30s to the 70s. It's a great little hardback volume. Let me take my name off of the board here. Already checked my Facebook and they're not allowing me to take it. I thought I had the problem fixed and apparently I didn't. So sorry, folks, if you were looking for us on Facebook. They're just not being very friendly for StreamYard, I think. Nice hardback book I've had for many decades. Covers the, gives you some prime stories of Superman from all of the different decades through the 70s. He left off with a great Lois Lane story. Some of it's in color, some of it isn't. Most of it isn't. Most of it's in black and white.
So is that from 1942, that Superman artwork?
This is, yes.
So they got the logo very, very early on.
Mm-hmm. And they filed patent for it too, I believe. Yeah, right there.
Do they still use that logo now? Have they moved? Have they changed it?
I think they still do because it's so iconic.
Yeah.
But they probably do sparingly. You know how modern comics are. Everybody has to put their own stamp on it. So there's. Here we go.
Who's written this? Do we know? Or drawn it? Do we know?
No.
I know it says Siegel and Schuster, but it won't be them, will it?
No. But they're still giving them credit at this point, so that's good. Let's see if there's credit front. Just cover credits. Nothing on the stories. It's a foreword by Carmine and a intro by E. Nelson Bridwell. Nope.
No. Okay.
No actual credits. So we would be guessing. I would think this would be Otto Binder. At this point. Well, no, not at this point. This is 42. So Otto's still over writing Captain Marvel at this point.
Have you seen what PBR Street Gang says?
Sorry, here we are. PBR in the house. Oh, thank goodness. No Al Williamson and pounding whiskey today. I was tempted to watch today's show later in the day. Just couldn't face that much booze in the morning. Yep. Went from Al Williamson to Superman. So. Not much of a drinking game here unless you want to count the time Lois Lane screams.
Every time you see an S.
Every time you see an S. Be drunk in the first 15 minutes. Frank Ferret in the house says, good morning. Good morning, all. You sagacious scallywags. Morning, Tank. Hope you're doing
Scallywags.
Scallywags. Superman bending a rail.
Lois has got a high forehead.
Yeah, she's from this island Earth.
Yes. Well, she's the T-foul man. That's an English reference for you out there.
She's the human bullet.
Thanks, says hello PBR and Randy and Russ.
Yo.
Yo.
Yeah, look at that forehead.
Yeah. little bit before bangs, I think.
Yeah, I mean, well, the whole face, really. They're really fish eyes, aren't they?
Yeah. If you look at that top left drawing of Clark, that's getting to be
that's pretty classic looking, isn't it?
One, isn't it?
Yeah. But her face just looks like I don't know, a surprised fish.
Might still be Schuster at this point.
Right.
Schuster and Siegel doing it.
Yeah,
it might be. I'm not sure.
Definitely some genetic issues there.
She went to the hairdresser and she said, "I'm fed up with this fringe," so he just combed it back.
No, there's more going on than that.
Curled it up and back. Yeah.
Trying to be kind.
little waterfall back here.
Yeah.
Good.
What's he?
Homage to Action 1 there.
Yeah.
What's he running around crashing cars for?
She's looking through her old photo album.
Is he chasing her there at the bottom? She falling.
He's catching her. Yeah. Yeah, he's catching a bullet for her.
That's great on the Christopher Reeve film, isn't it? When he catches Lois and with that helicopter, and he says, "I've got you, miss," and she says, "You've got me. Who's got you?"
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
It's got a lot of really good touches, that movie.
Yeah,
it's a good film.
Yeah, it is a good film.
It's a phenomenal film for its time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there are issues when you look at it now, but
it's great. It is what it is, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like when he runs towards the telephone box and then doesn't go in it, you know. It's stuff like that. Little things.
Didn't they screen a whole bunch of Star Wars recently from the original tapes, and had people complaining that the quality wasn't very good. It's like,
oh, God.
Fuck off. Sorry.
Exactly right.
But just go get stuffed, will you?
Well, I'll tell you the story of a guy I worked with when he watched, him and his son watched Thunderbirds for the first time, obviously a lot younger than me. I said to him, "You got to watch Thunderbirds on Saturday morning." So they did, and he came in. I said, "What do you think?" He says, "You can see the strings."
They're puppets.
You know, there you go.
They're puppets. It's an outrage.
And the point is, they didn't try to hide them. So
no, of course they didn't.
Because we all knew what it was. We're not
use your imagination. That's the trouble. That's what's happened to entertainment, is that people have lost their imaginations.
Yeah.
So they expect everything to be laid out on them, like the perfect CGI, the perfect illustration, whatever it might be. You know, nobody's using their brain to fill in the bits anymore.
Yeah, but you got to have a brain.
Yes, exactly.
And a ring. There you go.
Don't start that.
I'll tell you the classic with my sister-in-law, didn't I? Oh no, there's not going to be apes in this film. You know, Escape from the Planet of the Apes.
Oh no, not going to be apes in here, are there?
Actual live apes, and they'll talk.
But the thing is, you see, it shows you it works in the family DNA, because I went round to their house once to watch Columbo. And it started off with the titles and all that, and then there's this guy. It's dark, and he's got a gun. You see, he's going up this path. He goes into this house, and he shoots the guy. And my sister-in-law's sister said, "Why has he done that?" Well, we don't know. We've only seen as much of you as. Anyway,
Columbo was great.
Yeah,
because they told you the crime right up the front.
Yeah.
You knew everything about it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like one of those crime shows where you were trying to work it out along with the detective.
Yeah.
Because that's now fallen into terrible writing where somebody just pops someone in at the end of the show, and you think, well, how could I have possibly worked that out? You couldn't, because they just popped the character in at the end of the show. You couldn't have possibly tugged on that thread. So it's gone from the sublime to the ridiculous. But what was great about Columbo was that what you were enjoying was Columbo's journey.
Yeah.
That was what it was about.
Yeah.
You were enjoying the acting, you're enjoying the flow of the story, how the people reacted. You knew who the bad guys were or what had happened.
So it was clever writing.
It was very clever. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. But there was a lot of good writing back then, because all them guys, most of those writers were coming off of radio.
Yeah.
And those radio dramas are unbelievable. Just so good to watch or so good to listen to. You can't watch them, but you can
What's happening to that bloke's face there? What's he going? What's he doing? Yeah. Is it melting?
That's a great Superman pose in that top left corner. He's pulling that.
Isn't it? Yeah.
I believe he's just Asian.
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay. It's not particularly well done, is it? Yeah, I love the way he's manipulating the metal, just like Kirby does it.
Yeah,
you just you see these big hands and whatever, and there's like bending metal, and it just looks like it's rubber or something.
Yeah.
There's something I've noticed about these comics from the 30s and 40s. People die, don't they? Like those when he's putting up on the previous side, the baddie guys have been electrocuted. They're dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, look at this guy here. Looks like Guy Fawkes.
Again, it's like less sanitized.
Yeah.
Well, this is the era of the Human Torch and Submariner too. Human Torch used to burn people until he was told that wasn't nice to do, and then when World War II come up, everything was off for the Japanese and the Germans.
Yeah, he got his chance to burn people in the end,
right
didn't
back
he?
to burning people. Same thing with
Psychopath.
Submariner. Submariner was killing people left and right until he was told you really shouldn't do that. And then World War II happened, and they considered Germans and Japanese not to be human. So
yeah,
and then we got
all sorts of stuff.
Wernham landing 10 years later because everybody had forgotten about the war.
Yeah,
during the war.
I'm just trying to work out why that guy with the machine gun is prodding him, but it's supposed to be the bullets coming out.
It's prodding him.
Look like a
prodding him.
Yeah, that line isn't right, is it? It's just like an extension of his machine gun.
Badoink.
That's what she said. Superman.
Well, he's got a cane. Everything's kind of pointing to Superman there.
Look at all
that lovely check jacket.
Yeah, look at that lovely lettering as well. And that caption, that's fantastic.
The block of type too. Wow.
It's a bit more accomplished on the old inks there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, aren't they?
Again, a little farther along. This is still I think it's still
1942.
42, yeah.
Nice.
Later in 42.
It's very nice, that, isn't it? Nicely done.
Oh, God. She's gone cross-eyed now.
Look, he's throwing that guy off the train.
Yeah, get off.
Yeah.
Just, what is she doing? That's crazy. That's a crazy face.
Yeah.
It's got googly eyes.
Yeah.
Oh,
look. A page of comic strip in a comic strip. That's great.
Well, she said there, I didn't realise you were a comic strip fan. Avid is the word I'd use for it. Look at that. He's reading it, like you say. It's a comic book about somebody reading a comic strip.
Comic book.
Yeah.
Brilliant. What is it? A little alien with a little dress on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever's your thing. Whatever.
It's just a little person. Yeah. Is that hair? I don't know. No, it's not. He looks like a little alien. Yeah.
PBR's just said he's watching Doctor Who.
We're sorry.
Series 7.
Oh, okay. That's better.
What was Series 7? Do you know? I can't place it.
I've no idea.
Would that have been the third Doctor?
Don't know.
Second.
So it's either Pertwee or
Series 7, I reckon. Yeah.
So first Doctor. Most of the Doctors ran 5 years, right?
Not necessarily.
The second one, I think, ran 3.
Well, Patrick Troutman was the second one, wasn't
he? Yeah.
And then Pertwee, and then Tom Baker.
Then Baker.
And then it just ended then for me.
Yeah, Tom Baker's the real deal. Yeah.
Baker ran 7, didn't he, or 5 or 7?
Tom, wasn't he the longest running Doctor of everyone?
I don't know.
Tom Baker. I think he was. I think he did longer in the part than anyone else.
Did he do 74 to 81?
Yeah.
I think it was. And then that blonde guy took over with the
Davidson.
Peter Davison.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really like that.
And
I was done once Tom Baker was done. Really,
the whole atmosphere of the show changed when he came on.
It did.
It got to be a lot more stuffy.
I watched it when it was revived with Eccleston. I quite enjoyed that, but when he went out of it after one series, I didn't.
Yeah, one series. Yeah,
I didn't bother with it after that because I didn't like who came in. So
I quite liked Peter Capaldi as the Doctor.
Never seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen bits of it, but I never watched it.
He really was sort of a combination between Tom Baker and Pertwee.
Right.
For me, it was but a bit darker. And I just thought, as in the essence, I'm not necessarily talking about their portrayals, or I'm just talking about the essence of the Doctor.
Yeah.
I thought Peter Capaldi,
Well-
with the right writing, which he didn't get, could have potentially been the best Doctor ever.
That's
even
I agree
e-
100%.
even though Tom Baker would be far and away my favourite, or the only Doctor, one of the best pieces of TV is that when they take Bang off to the museum.
Oh, that is a
Tennant,
fantastic.
That's classic.
Yeah.
You know,
There were some really good Tennant episodes. My friend
That was Smith, Matt Smith.
Yeah, Matt
Yeah.
Smith.
Was that Matt Smith? I thought it was Tennant.
No, it
Tim
was Matt
Quinn.
Smith. Way too young to be the Doctor, though.
Yeah,
But
that's my friend Tim Quinn. He's been at Marvel. He's done all kinds of stuff. Been involved in you name it. He's been involved in production, what have you. And his response to the whole of the Doctor Who thing, and this was quite a while ago. He said Doctor Who lost its way when it was more about the actor than it was about the Doctor.
That's right. That's what's happened with James.
And it doesn't
Bond.
matter how good those Tennant episodes were or whatever, from that point where Tennant became the Doctor, it was more about the actor than it was about the actual stories.
Yeah.
And
like
that's where it lost its way, to be honest.
That's what happened with the Bond thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The actors
you're right.
have got bigger than the character.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's more about who's the Doctor instead of what's the Doctor going to do? Where is he going to go next? Or whatever.
Though
anyway, to Superman.
I will say
Superman,
Tennant had the best writing there for a short period of time.
Yeah, he did. There were some cracking shows. Yeah,
some of those
cracking
episodes
stories
are amazing.
But surely Superman has suffered from the same thing. We're just talking about who's going to play him.
Yeah.
Instead of, what the portrayal actually is, and Batman.
Yep.
So there you go.
Oh, yeah.
They all suffer from it because it's this sort of celebritization of story.
Celebritization, is that a word?
No, I just made it up.
It sounds
celebritized. Sorry?
It sounds like something the Americans had come up with. Celebritization.
Yeah, somebody has probably said it. The celebritization of story. Instead of just watching the stories, people are worried about how it was made, who's acting in it, what they're thinking, what do they do in their spare time, whether they, I don't know. I'm not going to go any further.
Yes, I understand.
Just like, get stuffed. Make me a good story, and I don't want to know about any other part of it, to be honest.
Yeah. Absolutely. When talking about Lois Lane, Tank Ferret says she's got a forehead, a B forehead, and an after head. BBR says, on a side note, since you find gents are English, you might find this interesting. Started watching Doctor Who currently on season 7, episode 10. Only 60 more some odd seasons to go.
Well, actually, probably only 50, to be honest. So what's the last 10?
Yeah, they took a vacation there between McCoy and Eccleston.
Apart from our accents, I thought we'd really confuse PBR then, that we might be Americans.
Yes, I misspelled
Sids.
PBR also says, just pick this book up for a steal of deal. Thanks, you guys, for bringing this book to my attention. Very welcome. Tips hat to you. Thank you. Glad you found it. Yeah, I think Charles Santino was on and said that he found this incredibly inexpensive up on eBay. I think way below its value. To be fair, the makeup back then was pretty toxic.
I think he's talking about the face that Lois made.
Could be. Season 7's the third Doctor. The start of the show in color. Learned some really cool facts about the gal that made the theme song for Doctor Who. Her synthesizer. The Moog.
Moog. It's pronounced Moog.
Is it Moog?
We would say Moog here. Yeah. Was some cool high-tech bit of kit.
Yeah, right. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a word now. Yeah. What book is that? Eric, the Guapo. We are looking at Superman from the 30s to the 70s. Beautiful hardback, thick hardback volume. We started last week and got that far. So we'll see how far we can get today. Thanks to great conversation. And the way that our conversation wanders all over. PBR says it was really sad how the BBC treated her. She came up with one of the best theme songs, and she got no credit at all. Yeah, that's pretty typical.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Shocker that the BBC did that.
Well, she's just working for them and she gets paid. So,
Hi, Eric. Hi, Tank. Nice.
I
Says-
think I agree with you there, Glenn. Like, work for hire, but you should get credit.
Oh yeah,
People should know who you are.
I
So.
was being sarcastic. Yeah.
Oh right, okay, yeah, good.
Of course they should. Yeah, of course they should.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like, yeah, it's constant. People just not getting the credit for what they do, and I don't have a problem with work for hire at all.
Well,
like as we discussed last week, apart from when the circumstances change. So, for instance, Kirby made all that stuff, and nobody ever thought it'd be in the cinema. And at the point in time where you change the output, then you change the terms. Yeah. But if it's just for comics, then no, you're a hired gun. But there should always be a credit on so that people know who you are, who did it.
Well, I made a film for a company I made that was shown in Belgium and France, and everybody was flown out to watch it except for me.
Sorry to hear that.
You have my name on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good film. That was brilliant.
Man made it. Where is he? Oh, he's at home in his kitchen.
Yeah. Mitch, how you doing?
Hey, doing great. How's everyone
Hey,
doing?
Mitch.
Do a quick introduction, Mitch, so that we can get more Superman in.
I'm
That's what Lois said.
Yeah. That's what Lois said.
You know, this show is it's like a deja vu, isn't it? Because it took us three hours to get to what we were talking about last week.
Yes.
Go on, Mitch. Who are you?
Say the weird thing.
Right. Mitch, quick introduction, please.
I'm Mitch Rogers. I'm a horror comic book writer and artist from South Carolina. I'm the creator of the Boger and the Flesh and Blood collection.
Are you down the street, Mitch, shouting?
It's Russ is usually the one shouting at parked cars.
How's it sound now?
Still the same. It's all right. Your
Sorry,
can is fine.
You're here.
We can hear you even with the soup can. It's good.
How the hell did that happen?
Just the acoustics. You're all right. Don't worry about it.
This notice the black, the spotting of the blacks have changed here. The inks have gone up a notch.
They have, yeah. Do you know, Russ is only one down from Superman. He's shouting at cars and Superman's throwing them around.
Yeah.
There he is here.
Yeah.
Picking
he's
it up by
throwing
the
around the
fender,
cars I
too.
shouted at.
That's my parking spot. Move.
That's a mighty sturdy fender too.
This artwork is really good. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's definitely moved up a notch. Yeah,
I got a superhero with these kind of powers chasing after a bunch of bank robbers and went and grabs the fender.
Yeah,
like that comes right off in her hands. So, what the heck? That's not the way it works in the comics.
Well, I hate to break it to you, comics are fiction.
There we are.
Oh.
A little bit of cityscape working here.
Oh, is he a giant?
It looks like
wow.
a giant. Yeah, he is.
Look at that.
Look at that hand.
He's a giant. He's a giant gangster.
It's exactly what you'd expect in Superman, a giant monster.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A high forehead Lois.
She just looks high, to be honest.
It looks like it's pulling up a bust, doesn't it? It's like what they've done is they've given a bust lift and they've tied it in a knot in the top of her head.
Just combed her hair so hard it's lifted her boobs.
Next week she'll have a Van Dyke.
That's it's not a 4 head. That's more like a 6 or 7 head.
Yeah.
That they said in the chat, it's not just a forehead, it's a before head and an after head.
Great stuff, though.
Gangsterzilla.
Gangsterzilla, nice. She has got lovely hair, though.
Yeah, who's she talking to there? The black, the coloured in guy, the black guy, the shadow guy.
That's Superman.
Yeah.
What happened? Was Vinny walking past?
He's so dense, he became a black hole.
We've got a
Yeah.
deadline in 4 weeks. Can you just finish this page off?
Get that man some ink.
Yeah. Clark's fountain pen broke and it just covered his whole body.
Must be what it is.
It's him so hard. He's... Huh. What are those round things with the funny
round?
faces? They're bonkers.
They look like little blow-up toys. He might be fighting the toy man. Look at that.
Giant gangster floating, smiling faces. It sounds like Mr. Mixius Spitlick.
Mixpidlick. Yeah. He's coming.
And on the left-hand side, we have an offensive caricature.
Say again.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a
That's it on
balloon.
the. Oh, I thought it was. I thought it was.
That's where your head went.
No, the Asian stereotype was a few pages before this.
Oh.
Aren't all caricatures offensive, really?
Well,
Isn't that the
only
point?
if you don't have a sense of humor.
If you're writing anything or drawing anything or anybody, surely it's stereotyped.
Yeah.
You know, it has to be.
All these white people down here, they're all stereotyped.
Comics are all stereotypes, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone is.
Everything.
Icon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. PBR says her forehead seems to have. Poor Lois. She's been told to hold that thought her whole life.
Lois was on the ground floor of Botox. You know that?
Oh my God! I can't type today. I blame it on no whiskey.
No whiskey.
No whiskey.
Get Al Williamson on. We need some shrooms.
There we are.
What?
Oh, okay. Right. That's not so good.
Now this is their very first imaginary tale.
Oh, the others
Not like-
were real then, were they?
All of the rest of them have been real up until now.
Right.
Yes.
I like the way they couldn't do, I'll say ovals for the word balloons. They're making them into think bubbles, so they make it easy.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Discovered
so
a
good.
curve template. Here we are.
It makes it difficult to identify, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, no, if they're thinking, you've got the little balloon tail here.
Yeah, I know, but
When they're speaking,
it's
you've got a regular.
it's
pointer.
instant, isn't it? It's like that instant identification. If you
Yeah.
look at the two panels on the right hand side, one at the top and one on the middle row on the right. So you've on the right. There you go. That one and above.
That was
Okay,
right.
so the one above they've got a thinking and they've got a talking. Yeah? And the talking one has still got lots of bubbles. Effectively, it's not a round or an elliptical. It's sort of got lumps in it. And look at the one below. Now, they've both got tails and they've both got bubbles, but that's instantly recognizable as speech. And the thinking is instantly recognizable as thought.
Right.
That's why that's why you do that.
Oh, they're trying to.
Whereas the one above is like, I can't work it out until you look at the tail. You can't work it out.
Yeah.
Why has she got a flower pot on her head?
Because she can.
They call that a hat back in the day.
It's a colander.
There's no holes in it.
She's completely bonkers.
It's just a regular bowl. Come on.
It's like you look at that forehead, you look at the eyes, they're quite wide apart, and you think, yeah, something not right going on there.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
She goes to the cinema with a colander on her head. That's it.
Meanwhile, at home, she eats her salad out of a hat. I mean,
Yeah.
I love the way that robot is connected at the arms and legs.
Yeah. It looks like the Tin Man on Wizard of Oz.
Do you know what it looks like, especially with him kneeling down like that? You know, when you were a kid and at Christmas, well, actually, you're a bit older than me, but not by much. You used to get those figures, and they were on like a block, and they were made of. They had taut string in all their limbs, and when you pressed the bottom of the block, they'd move about. It's
this collapse.
Yeah, well, they collapse. Yeah, I never understood them either. As a kid, I thought, why are you buying me this shit?
You know what this story's about? They're sitting there watching a Fleischer Superman cartoon.
Oh wow!
Because I recognize the mad scientist guy.
Yeah.
Here. It's what it is. They're watching that Fleischer cartoon.
Well, okay, so in this universe, the Fleischer cartoons exist.
Yeah.
So it's going to show that Clark Kent is Superman.
Yeah,
perhaps so. Yeah.
Don't. Well, maybe there's a joke at the end when he goes, "Well, that's ridiculous, isn't it?" You never know. We might get to that at the end of this story.
Is Lois wearing a potted plant for her hat? Maybe her mom was going to have her give her a haircut. And Lois ran off.
Sorry, Tank Ferret. Get to the one above that. Lois is the original pastafarian.
Yeah. She's got a colander. What? No. Sugar. Chris is in the house.
Hey,
hello,
Chris.
everyone. Hey,
Hey, Sugar.
Hope you're doing well. Sugar. Because I can't get enough of that sugar, Chris. Yeah.
That's what they say.
Well, about finding out that Clark Kent is Superman, there was a story from, I think, the 80s, I believe, where Lex Luthor creates this like super mega computer, and he puts like the data of everyone in Metropolis in it to find out who Superman is, and the computer comes back as the only logical solution is that Clark Kent is Superman, and Lex Luthor's like, "Oh, this thing sucks. There's no possible way this shrimp can be Superman."
Sugar says, just popping in, heading to church. Have a good church session.
Yeah.
Sugar, take care. Good to see you, Sugar. Glad you were here for as long as you were here. We had a TV show here about a group of 4 people that would slide from dimension to dimension. They called it sliders.
Yeah, we had it over here. Yeah.
They were constantly trying to get back home.
Yeah.
And they're on a world where they have a smarter version of the smart guy that's on the show, and he plays with their little device and hands it back to him and goes, "That'll send you home." And they end up sliding back home, and they're in front of their house, and the guy goes, "Well, we'll know we're home if this gate squeaks, because I never oiled this gate, and the gate doesn't squeak." And then a newspaper blows by and they catch it, and it says O.J. Simpson on trial for murder. And they said, "Well, we've got to be on the wrong world." And then they jump off again. And then somebody walks out of the house talking about how they had just oiled that gate.
Don't maybe hang around for a little bit more proof before you rush off to another dimension.
Exactly. There's that guy. Crazy mad scientist.
In Superman, no.
Yeah. It's just their way of degrading Tesla. All that mad scientist trope. BBR says, it amazes me that all it took to fool folks on who Superman was a pair of glasses and a tie. Yep. Well, they showed it's all in the acting too. So.
Yeah, I mean, Christopher Reeves, the
Yeah.
difference between the two, he did a job on that. So.
First time I saw that in the theater, I went, "Holy shit, that's amazing."
Yeah.
It's crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that documentary where he, the one with, is it Richard Pryor when he steals a load of money or something?
That's Superman 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one with Richard Pryor, and there's a bit in it where I think he doesn't hit him, but he pushes him and he flies about 30 feet backwards and 20 feet up in the air. And on this documentary, it showed you how they did that. And he had, like, obviously this telescopic pipe coming out of his back with these strings holding him up. You understand what I mean? And Superman had to come in and push him. So I thought, oh, we're going to see how they make Superman fly. And it didn't show. You couldn't see how they did that. So I'm convinced that Christopher Reeve could actually fly. Because you understand what I mean? It was just brilliant. It was brilliant. I saw Christopher Reeve. He opened my local cinema.
Did he?
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Then he flew off.
Then he flew off. Yeah. He said, I've just flown over the Atlantic and come here, and everybody laughed. And we found out that he is actually a pilot, and he does fly.
He does fly.
there you go. Yeah.
But I think that was a cover story. I think he did actually fly.
Yeah. He had the cape on and everything.
Yeah.
So the whole wheelchair thing was an act?
It could be. No, it was the kryptonite that was stuck in the back of his neck that did that.
That's what it is. Tank Ferret says later all, like, share, and stay magnificent.
Later, Tank.
Thanks for stopping by, Tank. Appreciate you.
Story's going on a bit.
Here in Michigan, we all know Christopher Reeve's almost as famous for doing Somewhere in Time, which is a time travel movie, romance movie he did.
Yeah.
That was all shot up here on Mackinac Island.
All right.
Still looks that, and they did it because it looked like it was from the 1800s, and it still looks the same today.
Mm.
So, except not as many people walking around in crazy costumes.
It's a sad movie.
With capes.
It is a sad movie. I think Jane Seymour is the only one left from the main cast on that. I think she still comes up whenever she can, usually once a year, for a festival that they celebrate the movie up there.
And she still looks 18, even though she's 75.
Yes, she does. Amazing.
Still looks amazing, yeah.
Yep.
This is divine.
Here's your bullet back. Brilliant.
Is this the end of the story?
Yeah.
So we just had an entire comic book story where they're just watching a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there he is winking at himself. How do you do
He
that?
gets her out of there before he changes. Yeah. So nobody will know.
It's bizarre. That was a bizarre story.
Our secret is still a secret from Lois. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. At least her face does look human there.
Yeah.
Was it a different artist?
Might have been. I think the art style
Same
was
inker.
a little tighter. Yeah. Look at that, though.
Look at that. Oh, this is a different artist.
Yeah.
It's much stiffer.
43.
Lots of words.
Yeah.
Not sure who's on this.
You see, they made a mistake there, haven't they? If you look at the center panel, he's explaining, I'm afraid she's going to be difficult, and he says that would reveal that I really am Superman. And they put a speech thing on instead of the balloons to his head. He's actually saying that to her.
Oh no, that's even more confusing.
Yeah.
Lois isn't really paying attention anyway.
Yeah.
Lois never is. Hold that thought.
I'm looking on Wikipedia to see if they have a listing of
Charles would
artists.
know. He knows where to look.
El Plastino. In July of 48, Plastino was on it.
Al Plastino. That's what they call Mr. Fantastic in Spain.
Yeah, in Argentina. El Plastino. Siegel introduced Mr. Mxyzptlk in issue 30. In 44, we're coming up to that. more detailed origin story. Siegel's still writing at this point. More detailed origin story for Superman was presented in issue 53 in July of 48.
Did you know that they've just I saw a sort of a preview. They've done a history of the DC universe, Mark Waid, and they've just basically belittled Superman in it.
Oh, you were watching Thinking Critical,
yeah,
too.
I watched Thinking Critical on that. Yeah, and it's just like there's a mention at the start and a mention at the end, and it's like no, the superheroes, so they all started before Superman turned up, and it's there's hardly anything about Superman, and you're like, what the hell? I mean, I'm not a Superman fan. I never have been, but he's the first, and that's all there is to it.
Yeah. That's like John Lennon was pissed off with George Harrison in his book because George Harrison only wrote his autobiography.
Yeah.
And he only mentioned John Lennon 7 times.
Right.
In his entire Beatles, he's talking about the Beatles for 20 chapters, and he mentions John Lennon 7 times. So John wasn't happy with that.
At least it was 7.
Yeah.
How many times does Ringo Starr?
Yeah, he mentions Ringo every other word, but
they were good mates, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
but it's just
George and Ringo especially were constantly walking in and out of the group too.
Yeah.
But it's this constant trying to sort of rewrite history or rewrite old stories, like so that it becomes your story. It's like just go and write your own bloody story and leave the old stuff alone.
Well, to me, this Wade mess, history of DC universe, is a doubling down on all of the mistakes that they made at Crisis.
Yeah,
and they should have never unified the worlds. Should have never done it, and should have just left the multiverse as it was. Create a separate icon logo to tell folks if it was happening on Earth 2 or Earth 1 or whatever, and just left it alone. Because the stories they were doing on Earth 2 back when I was a kid were amazing. I mean, introducing Huntress as the daughter of Batman and Catwoman, I thought was great. And bringing Power Girl in, it was Supergirl as Power Girl later on, and having her discovered farther up the timeline, I thought was great. Everything that they were doing was just really fun stuff. And yet they thought the readers would be too confused by having separate Earths. So they decided to combine everything together. And then you have to explain the timeline, and the fact that there are multiple Batmans and Supermans and all of this. It's just really irritating. They should have just left it alone.
Yeah, because I think a few of the older Batman comics I have does have like a caption bubble or something like taking place on Earth 2 or whatever.
Right. Yeah. The All-Star comics used to have that constantly, just to remind folks, this isn't your main, this is the original Golden Age Batman. They could tell Superman apart because they grayed out his temples, and he had the old power set where he could only leap tall buildings. He wasn't flying at that point, but his powers were starting to ebb out anyway. But I thought that was a great explanation, and that they were, I followed it. I loved it and understood it, but they didn't want to deal with that. And then you had those Justice League, Justice Society crossovers every year that were phenomenal. Always fun to see more characters coming in and them jumping universes or something happening. It was great.
I don't know why they have to explain everything. It's like when Bobby went out with Dallas for a year, and then he came back and had to explain that it was a dream. Just have him back.
Yeah.
Forget it. Just have him back. We don't care.
Well, I think that was really the start of trying to add more realism into comics. And then shortly after that, you had Watchmen and Dark Knight come in that just it threw superheroes, especially as a fantasy genre, out the window.
Yeah. And it's like making all their
degrading ever since.
Yeah, it's like making all the costumes leather instead of spandex.
True.
That's effectively it. It's like trying to give a real world explanation to things instead of just enjoying the fantasy of it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Randy, just turn back a second. Just noticed something on that splash page. Where's his right foot?
I know.
Just because
is it bent over?
Behind that hand.
The base of the cannon is there, but his foot should be
Yeah.
over it.
I think it's bent backwards, but they forgot to put the
Oh,
foot
it is.
in.
No, there's
Yeah.
a shadow right there. Yeah,
right.
it's bent
Okay.
backwards.
Right.
See, it's jumping down here, holding that tank. See the motion lines here. So yeah, that foot's up. It should be over here though. Probably.
Yeah.
They probably couldn't get it to look right.
So they got Vinny in.
No, you'd have ended
They
up
just
with a
didn't go
Frank,
over the top of it. Yeah.
with a Frank Robbins leg that would have had the leg and the foot going off to the side.
Yeah.
That didn't look right either. Again, the artwork on this is a lot tighter, more detailed thrown in.
Vinny's used all the black again.
Big thigh here compared to that one.
Yeah.
Big calf too.
Yeah, if he stood up, his leg would be halfway down his
Yeah.
leg.
Yeah. It's just about right, except for this leg is super thick. The calf is super thick.
That's almost a Stan Lee there thing. Look, top that page there, top left. He said, "Is that you, Superman?" He says, "If it isn't, buddy, I've been kidding myself all my life." That's a Stan Lee quip.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Crazy golden age layout too. Look at that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Really congested. A lot of lettering too.
Superman, or I'm a goggle-eyed baboon. Well, there you go.
Is that Goggle or Google?
Goggle.
All right.
3 Gs.
Michael Hart in the house. Yes, the old Earth 2, etc. thing worked really well. I thought it did. Yeah.
I think the secret is not to do stupid Earth 498. That's the key.
Well, they were getting out of hand there. Earth S and Earth X and all of that. But Earth X was kind of fun. They zapped over to a world where the Nazis had won.
It's like
World War
those
II.
that was what if, what if the members of the bullpen were the Fantastic Four? Well,
Yeah.
what if you didn't waste our time and just do something else?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's his right foot disappearing again on the bottom left.
That's right. Yeah,
It's barely a shadow stump
it's
there.
it's a Jim Starlin trope, that isn't it? That pose with his leg bent up. Is it Jim Starlin?
I think you picked that up from this era.
Yeah,
trying to foreshorten.
Whoever it is can't draw American Army helmets very well, can he?
No.
Changing every panel. Look at that there. Just go back. Bottom right, bottom last panel. He says he's punching the balloon from the previous panel.
He is. Slightly crude, perhaps, but effective.
Yep.
And he says. Interesting shadow here. Again, you have to wonder if they weren't hiding stuff here and just conveniently doing a Vinny there.
Doing a Vinny. Oh, poor Vinny.
That's what it'll be called from now on.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do a Vinny on it. It'll be good.
He's Vinnyized it.
Yeah. Poor artwork's been collected. Yeah. No. Look at that, though.
So has this Superman got all his powers then? That he has X-ray vision and all that in these comics?
I think he's still leaping at this point
Right.
and not really officially flying just yet. Or if he is, they're not really showing it. They're showing him dropping quite a bit.
Yeah.
Falling in. Like here.
Yeah.
I don't know, though. They might be, patching over it for now.
She likes bollocking him all the time, doesn't she? This woman.
Oh, running roughshod over Clark, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just demeans the hell out of him.
Is she a midget? Look at that middle column.
He's looking like he's squinting a lot at the moment.
He does.
Yeah, I think he's winking.
That's Captain, the Shazam Captain Marvel does that one too. Squint. It's them glasses are ruining his eyesight. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. He must have good eyes to see through those lenses.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Look, he's saying it again. He's saying, goodbye. Sorry. Second to last panel, very last panel. He says, "Oh, he's saying it again. It should be little circles going to his head."
Well, he's got it in parentheses here, which means he's thinking to himself, "Huh, me?"
They must have sat down and thought, "We've got to work something out here. We've got to change."
That's why
Did I give myself
speech
away
bubbles
without
are
realizing it?
what they are, and that's why thinking bubbles are the way they are, because it makes
Exactly.
it easier to identify.
Yep.
Like I said.
Mr. Schickelgruber.
PBR says, what were Superman's original power sets? Stronger than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound?
Faster than
How
a
did the
bullet?
rest go?
Was he faster than a bullet?
Faster than a
Faster
speeding
than
bullet?
Speeding bullet?
Yeah.
So
Higher-
not as fast as the Flash, which is just stupid. Otherwise, why have the Flash?
More powerful than a locomotive? Well, they used to have they did 3 or 4 stories on him and Flash racing around the world. Faster than a speeding bullet,
Stupid.
stronger than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound.
Single bound.
Only a bursting shell could penetrate his skin.
You see, like, that's a Superman, isn't it? Not a god.
Yeah. That's how it started out, though.
But it's like having these things where you have him race against the Flash is just stupid, because it nullifies the fact that the Flash is the Flash, because all his power is about being quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, if you've got Superman, you don't. Flash, go home. You're drunk. Do you know what I mean? It's like, what's the point?
Yeah.
He won a couple times.
They were probably doing that to kind of, because of all the readers that were like, oh, no, the Flash would beat Superman. No, Superman would beat the Flash. That's probably what they did. I'm just guessing.
Superman, in my view, Superman could come close to the Flash if he was flying, but he couldn't be able to do it by running.
True.
There you go. I think that's a good compromise. So stop this crap.
Well, they stopped that a long time ago. Here we are, folks.
There we go.
The story you've been waiting for.
What's he called?
Mr.
Mixus
McSpitlick.
Spitlick.
Mr. What?
It's the Superman cartoon from the 90s explained it. It's Mix, Yes, Spit, Lick.
Right.
Yes, Spitlick. Right, okay.
Right.
And what is he, an alien or something?
He's an interdimensional. He's that leprechaun from space. Like we were talking
It's a
about.
leprechaun from space.
Yeah.
This-
It's an interdimensional leprechaun. That's what he is.
They'll never find my Lucky Charms.
Pretty much.
They're in a black hole.
Hey. What's funny is in the 90s cartoon, he was voiced by Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Wow.
He was the same character actor that did Abu on
No, Iago.
Iago,
The parrot. Yeah.
the parrot.
Yeah. He's the guy that talks like this.
Yeah.
Randy talks like that.
No, I don't.
He doesn't yell.
No, Randy isn't
I don't know
quite
what
as
you're
frantic.
talking about. Yeah.
Randy isn't frantic like that. He's just
He talks like that when he does his Stan Lee.
it's Stanley's funny.
Pretty much.
Yeah, he's that short guy that squints and yells a lot.
He has a classic routine. Let me find it because I know I can show it.
Yeah, one of the best
Let me find
pieces of
this here.
audio you'll ever hear is Gilbert Gottfried reading from 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
I've never felt so hot and so wrong at the same time.
It must be where Kirk Douglas learned. What'll I do with this baton?
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a pretty cool documentary I saw on Hulu once, and he explained how his stage image kind of came about, because he's really not like that in real life. He had a podcast where he interviewed older TV stars for a while, and you couldn't tell it was him. But apparently, how that started was the first time he was doing stand-up comedy, he had a very severe stage fright. And when he got nervous, he would squint a lot. And so squinting, so he wouldn't see the audience, and he just had this nervous yell as he's telling his jokes. Well, people liked that, and that just kind of became his stage thing.
There's an episode of Hollywood Squares from 1999.
Gilbert Gottfried, okay.
It's up in the corner.
Oh, it's him.
Gilbert, Playgirl magazine's clinical sexologist, says, I think we should be able to talk about sex the way we talk about what?
Soft-boiled eggs, because they don't take under 3 minutes.
In 3 minutes?
No, I know this one because I pose for Playgirl. You don't actually see anything because my thumb was in the way. I'm going to say food.
I'll disagree.
Food. All right. Now, here's what happens in a case like this. We could have a 5-square win that you could pull off, Valerie, by picking the only square left. But we'll have to wait and find out how you do right after this. Stay there.
Anyway, that was a real classic routine that he does, because they keep going to him for the win, because it's basically a large tic-tac-toe game. And he's the last square left. And he kept giving them giving them answers, and they kept guessing the wrong one. And did it like a good half a dozen times. And every time that the person would guess wrong, he'd yell, "You fool!" over and over again. It's pretty funny.
Was that Whoopi Goldberg on there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Back when she was normal.
Yeah.
Hell, it was Penn and Teller back when they were normal. Fuck.
Yeah, Penn and Teller. Well, everybody back when they were normal. Yeah.
Little Richard back when he was normal. Was on there too.
Yeah, no, Little Richard's never been normal.
Yeah. I'd show you the whole thing, but we'd probably get copyright.
Yeah, we get struck. Yeah, no point.
Says PBR, I loved Paul Lynde from Hollywood Squares. Yeah, he was a classic on that show. Yep. This is what were Superman powers said. Anyway, here we are. I loved how the hiding your identity was backwards than others. His costume was to hide his humanity, while others hide the superhero aspect. Yeah. Yep. Superman. Yeah.
Yeah, and they actually leaned into that with Batman eventually.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't the same dynamic, as in, well, this is his real costume from what he would be if he was living on Krypton. Whereas obviously Batman, that's not what he would be looking like. He's just a man. He's just a human. But the idea was the id of the Bat was actually took over, and Bruce Wayne was simply just a cover story for the Bat. And I thought the way that they they leaned into that story over decades was actually the best thing about Batman, was leaning into that whole sort of, you know, the bat being the id of the bat being the real character, and that Bruce Wayne was just a cover story. I really enjoyed that. They've ruined it now, but
Yeah.
they leaned into it really well for a long time. They did a really good job.
Yeah,
And now it's all gone. It's all
gone.
Everything before 2000 is rubbish.
That's why we look at this great stuff.
Wait,
I have a reprint of the story which
before
lists
2000.
Sorry?
Did you say everything before 2000?
Everything after. Sorry, everything after is rubbish. Everything after.
Yeah.
No. If I misspoke, I am sorry.
I have a reprint of the story. It lists the artist as John Sekila. So that is probably who the artist is here.
Tequila. It makes me happy.
I'm guessing at the pronunciation of that. Yeah.
It's just another Sekila sunrise.
Oh, look at you go.
I've never made a good decision on tequila.
All right, for kids, that was the reference to a song from the 90s. Oh, I feel so old.
Yeah, I think I feel. Enter Sandman came on when I was in elementary school, and the other day I heard it on the classic rock station.
There you go.
Classic rock.
Classic rock.
Classic rock.
I was like, this is supposed to be my parents' generation. What the hell happened?
Yeah, well, it used to be, for us, it was like listening to your songs on Radio 2 instead of it being on Radio 1. But now Radio 1 and Radio 2 have both become utter rubbish.
That's just modern music in general.
It's just this thump. You just listen to it and you think, what the hell is this? And then you listen to Radio 2 and you think, oh, they'll have something, they'll have something from the 90s on here, or it'll be, it's Radio 2. No, more thump. Utter tripe.
Well, the wife's got Sirius satellite radio in the car. We listen to a station called The Bridge, and there's not a half an hour that goes by that they're not playing either an Eagles or a Fleetwood Mac song.
Well, that's all you need.
It's just,
that's all you need. The
I love
Eagles
them.
is all you need.
I love them, but I don't love them that much. So they're going to be right up there with Journey in Boston with me.
There's a lot of radio stations that over here, unfortunately, a lot of the radio stations are owned by just a few companies. Mm-hmm. So all the playlists, they're all the same. It's awful. It's absolutely awful. There are a few, a few that aren't too bad, but they're few and far between. Most of it's just crap.
Absolutely.
So
and then they
make your own playlists, kids. Make your own playlists.
To go back to what Glenn might have been talking about before we started the show, if you go and you get the Sirius satellite app, you can get another 200 stations that actually plays good music.
Well,
get the app, Glenn.
Yeah, I don't listen to radio. I listen to my music, which I only play good music. So
yeah,
I mainly listen to Spotify.
Yeah, got my own playlists. That's it.
Look at you, playlists and everything.
There you are. I think there's only one Eagles song and one Don Henley song. Well, maybe two Don Henley songs on it.
Well, okay, Don Henley songs. I presume it's Boys of Summer.
No.
Oh, Building. Was it anything from Building the Perfect Beast?
Maybe. I don't remember what album it was from. I have to look at my playlist to see what I've got on there.
I do like Boys of Summer.
I enjoy songs that are more story driven than feelings. So let me check my Spotify list here. Yeah, that's it. I got David Gray, Ryan Adams, Drive by Truckers,
David Gray,
Jesse Cole, Lord Huron, Slade Cleaves, Jason Isbell, Amos Lee.
See where we go on this show?
Lyle Lovett, Yeah.
You could.
Sorry.
We're talking
I
about.
know we're digressing. Sorry.
We're talking about playlists now. You get everything from this show.
Chris Christopherson, I got in here. Sunday Morning Coming Down. It's a good song.
Chris
I
Christopherson.
can't find it now.
Wow.
Little Mary Chapin Carpenter, a lot of Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd.
Beatles. Bonnie Raitt, Adele. Verve Pipe. There it is, Heart of the Matter. By Henley.
Oh.
Anyway. Onward, Mr. Mixpidlick here. Or Mixlick, whatever. Mix, how do you pronounce it, Mitch?
Mitch is gone. He's fed up. He's bored.
He did. Okay, stupid list. That's just listen.
I didn't come here for music lists.
Yeah,
I'm gone.
Exactly right. Sorry. Sorry, folks. This is how the conversation goes here. It's pushing him out of the way here. Smacked him.
Have you noticed how he's always got one leg going out the panel?
Yeah.
Did we got the name before on one of the
There's Sunshine Superman by Donovan. Should be on everyone's playlist. There you go. Got what? Glenn?
Superman has one leg outside the panel all the time.
He's always moving.
What? Hold on. What's going on there? Bottom left.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
He's flying off. Yeah.
Speaking of Donovan, I saw him in concert and he did Sunshine Superman. And just before he started playing it, he said, I'm going to play this song now, blah, blah, from 1966, and da-da-da. And I'm going to, just to tell you that the guitar he was holding, he said, the guitar I'm holding was a present of George Harrison. And then he sang the song, and you could feel it in the entire audience thinking, forget the song, just tell us a story about George Harrison giving you the guitar, you know?
Yeah.
And then when he finished, he said, this guitar was the guitar that George Harrison wrote My Sweet Lord on.
Oh.
Tell us about that. Tell us about that.
Wow.
But he didn't, because he was there all the time, Donovan, wasn't he?
I really like that song. That and
Superman Lantern.
the My Sweet Lord.
Yeah.
Just a fabulous song. But I actually like his later stuff as well. The Got My Mind Set on You. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
And
My Sweet Lord is one of the few songs I can play on a guitar. It's it's not that difficult, really. If I can do it,
he was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, but still my guitar gently weeps.
Oh yeah, but that's Eric Clapton, isn't it? Plays that guitar.
Yeah, it's written by George though. So
yeah, he ripped that song off, didn't he? My Sweet Lord from He's So Fine.
Mm-hmm.
But there was the problem with that was that Phil Spector produced both, so you thought he'd have had a notion, wouldn't you? Phil Spector wrote He's So Fine and produced it, and then produced My Sweet Lord. You'd have thought, you've heard this before.
Yeah.
But he didn't. But then again, he wasn't a full shilling, was he? As the saying goes.
PBR says, I don't think Fellas has drawn both his legs in the same frame once.
No, I think you may be right.
Yeah. Weird foot though.
I'll tell you what, Russ, I know you play guitar. If you get a 12-string acoustic and play My Sweet Lord on it, sounds so good. That's what George does it with a 12-string acoustic.
Not a chance.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
I'm down to a few chords. I'm getting rid of my guitar anyway. I haven't played it in so long. I'm going to get a banjo instead.
A banjo?
I'm going to get a banjo. I'm going to get a 4-string banjo.
That's how good people are, you see. John Lennon learnt the banjo, and when he met Paul and they were working out the songs, he said, Paul would say to him, what chord are you playing? And he was playing banjo chords on a guitar.
Oh, God. I find that just, deep respect for people who can, play musical instruments, people who are musical,
Yeah.
and those people that can grow a full head of hair. I mean, just impressive, totally impressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
There just comes a time when you have to realize there's things you cannot do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got more
Growing
chance
a
of
full head
growing
of
your
hair.
hair. Russ, you've got more chance of growing your hair than playing an instrument.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah, but being any good at playing a stringed instrument or growing a head of hair, you got more chance of growing a head of hair. Well, I know that's it. I'm done.
You seen the Hollywood, not Hollywood, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame concert where Prince comes out and they do While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Oh yeah. Oh, you've got to see that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh.
And it's crazy funny too, because they said the story behind it is Prince walked in and he was ready to do the first solo, and somebody else, one of the other guitarists, I don't even remember what band they were from, wanted to do it, and they came to Prince and apologized and said, "Would you care to take the second one?" And he says, "Yeah, I can handle it." And then he walked out of the rehearsal and never came in for another dress rehearsal. So the guys that what's really cool while you're watching it, the guys are pretty much trying to follow Prince.
Yeah.
And he just goes way off.
Yeah.
And just shows everybody up. You know, we're here to have fun. I'm going to jam. Boom.
He shows everybody how to play the guitar, doesn't he?
Exactly right. Yeah.
And then in the background, you've got Danny, who looks more like his dad than his dad does.
Yeah, and he's just staring at him like, holy
he's
crap,
just
look at this
strumming
guy.
chords, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Prince
Just
is
a crazy
pretty
good video. Here he is. The week. And saying the magic word. He says the magic word backwards, or he says his name backwards. Oh, good grief. Why am I laughing at it? I just did it. I just said the magic void.
The void.
Void.
The magic void.
He comes back. Go ahead.
This is the only show, I reckon, where you can look at classic comic strips and end up talking about Prince and music.
There you go. Yeah.
People come for the comics and they stay for the chat.
They do?
Well, you don't.
Hey, I had something to do real quick.
Lois Lane, Superwoman.
She's got one of those legs, look, that's coming out of his backside, look. Can you see? Her leg,
Oh, yeah.
That's her leg. She's sort of sitting on, he's sort of sitting on her knee.
Yeah. And he looks like Superboy there.
Yeah, it does. I thought it was for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks like Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
She's got some lift and separation going on there.
I know. I didn't like to say. But yes, I agree. First thing I saw.
1946.
Always is.
What is going on there?
It's gravity.
Yeah.
Push them down.
Yeah.
Lifting and separating. Anyway.
Eek. Superman.
Is this before or after the comics code?
Long before.
Well, 10 years before.
Oh, okay.
This is 46. Code kicks in, I think, end of 53.
Yeah.
Start of 54.
Yeah, I was wondering because it looks like the stories are getting into the like silly range, and that's kind of when it started. Was I mean when it exploded? You know, when those stories started happening a lot more was during the comics code because they couldn't do anything.
Yeah, but at this point, also they're chasing Captain Marvel because Captain Marvel is raging at this point. I mean, just super huge, and Superman, the national periodicals are starting to get very jealous of the amount of coverage that and sales that Captain Marvel was having over Superman. And Captain Marvel was super whimsical, and they're trying to match that level because that's what's selling.
It's kind of like a circular form of influence where Superman influenced Captain Marvel, and then Captain Marvel influenced Superman.
Exactly right. And they were all just trying to chase the dimes, whatever sold the most. Oh, talking tiger selling. Oh, well, we need to have something in here. Yeah,
It's
let's get a dog. Yeah,
it's remarkable that Mitch, what you said there about them influencing each other, because I know what you mean, but it's basically impossible because it's the same character, isn't it? That was the problem was.
Yeah.
That's what the problem was, wasn't it, with the copyrights and all that?
That's what the big long court battle was all about. They kept saying that Captain Marvel was too close to Superman, and then for every incident that they'd pull up of Captain Marvel copying Superman, they'd pull up a Popeye strip where Popeye was doing the thing that Superman was doing.
Copy of a copy of a copy.
Copy of a copy of a copy.
Yeah, nothing's original.
It's just that Fawcett was raking in hard money during this time. Their Captain Marvel's coming out once every other week.
That's always what it comes down to.
As far as I know, Superman was still coming out monthly at this point.
That's always what it comes down to.
Yeah.
If we're selling, a few hundred, maybe even 1,000 copies of the Atlantean, nobody touches us. If we suddenly had a breakout success and we sold 50,000 of them, somebody would want to sue us.
Yeah.
Even though they've not got any grounds to, somebody would want to.
Yep.
Well, look at how many times Disney has sued anyone making anything based on any fairy tale.
Yeah, as if they owned those fairy tales.
Yeah.
It's like, get stuffed.
Yeah,
but get back in your box.
They've tried to sue DreamWorks over Shrek. I don't know how many times.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of suing people for sort of no reason, that happened to Billy Joel, didn't it? Somebody sued him because this guy said he wrote Uptown Girl or a similar tune.
Yeah.
And the lawyer, apparently, I might be wrong on the exact story here, but apparently Billy Joel's lawyer said to Billy Joel, if you take this to court, it's going to cost you $250,000 to win, and everybody believes you, and it's going to cost you $250,000. Just give the guy $50,000.
Yeah, and he'll go away. Yeah,
and that's what they did. So he had to give him $50,000 to save the rest, $200,000, which is still not right, is it?
Yeah, and it's a certain case. It sounds like sounds like the ball was entirely in Billy Joel's court.
Yes.
Well, I think Joel was also going through some financial trouble at that point. I think his accountant ended up running off with millions.
Oh, that's
can't
never
trust
been
people.
done before, has it?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember reading about Sting was ripped off by some guy for $7 million or something, and all that made me think was, how much are you earning that you don't miss $7 million?
Yeah,
Fucking hell! I mean, I can handle being ripped off for that.
PBR says, I think part of Lois's bosom was on her back in that frame. The cave and grooving with a pict. Best song title ever. Oh, here's one above that. I collect Pink Floyd albums. Traveled all over the world in the military and found a lot of stuff that was never released in the States. Oh, cool. Several pieces of small furry animals gathered together in a cave. And
several pieces of small furry animals. Yeah. Isn't that a prequel to being a psychopath?
Several.
Don't they look for those clues when they're searching for serial killers?
Small furry animals gathered in a cave. Yeah, must have been Roger Waters' fault. Best song title ever. There we go. Oh, that was the name of the song. Several species of furry animals gathered together in a cave and grooving with a pict.
I thought you said bits. Sorry. Okay.
Best song title ever. Yeah. One of the fun things I found on YouTube are reaction videos of people who watch the concert where they sing Comfortably Numb. All these guys, I've been a music producer for 20 years and I've never barely heard of Pink Floyd. I think I'll sit and watch this video
How
It's
does
hilarious.
that happen?
That's exactly what I was thinking. But it's hilarious to sit there and watch their jaw drop and go, I can't believe they were doing music like this back during my parents' time. Holy crap.
It's like, yeah, that was when we were actually making music.
Exactly.
Before auto-tune.
We're
Before
back on-
content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, back when
Everything's-
the musicians themselves had to write the lyrics.
Exactly right.
And do everything. Yeah. There's some comedic stuff in here, isn't there? It's like that top hat there. The bowler hat on that bloke. The glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not quite sitting on his head. He's zipping around here. Still Superwoman. Looks like she changed the color of her hair. Maybe it's a wig,
So she goes above and beyond what Superman does.
like Black Canary. Yeah. They have this waltz, Miss Superwoman. You men who try to keep women weak and defenseless, I hate you. Whoever understands a woman is a better man than Superman. He says.
How did Supergirl get to Earth? Was she in another little spaceship?
Oh, Supergirl, yeah. Supergirl just pops out of another rocket that was in.
And how did the dog get there? Same.
Not sure how Crypto got there.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how Superman's labeled the last son of Krypton, yet there's all these other Kryptonians popping up everywhere.
He's got a ton of relatives, that pop in. Let me look that up on.
And I don't care what anyone says. Krypto's supposed to be a white lab.
Yeah, I agree. Also known as Crypto the Super Dog, is a superhero appearing in American comics, published by DC, commonly in association with character Superman. Most continuities, Crypto is Superman's pet dog, especially depicted as a white dog of a generic pedigree. Crypto has appeared in numerous television series and films, and blah, 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 publication history. On Krypton, parallel evolution leads to the emergence of analogous species to Earth, birds, dogs, cats, and simians. They are domestic companion animals as they are on Earth. As explained in the first appearance, Crypto is originally the young dog and household pet of toddler Kal-El while they are on Krypton. Jor-El, testing prototypes for the rocket that will eventually send Kal-El to Earth, decides to use Crypto as a test subject. And the dog launched in extended cryogenic sleep. However, Crypto's rocket is knocked off course by meteors and drifts through space for approximately 10 Earth years until it eventually lands on Earth, where Crypto is united with by then teenage superhero Superboy.
So, in other words, he is Krypton's Laika.
Krypton's what?
I said, so in other words, he's the Kryptonian version of Laika.
I'm not sure the reference.
That's the dog that the Soviet Union sent up to die, basically, to get the rockets out.
Probably, yeah. But Supergirl ends up hitting the same meteor shower, and she's in cryogenic sleep too. Only she sits out there longer before they find Earth, and pops out of the rocket with Superman grown and her as a teenager.
So what, did Jor-El also test it on his niece? What the hell?
I don't know. jammed her into another rocket and sent her off, I guess. I'm not sure. I'm sure it'll be in. I'm pretty sure the story's in here, though.
He'd kept her in a cellar till he sent her.
Could have been. Or his cousin, nephew, Jor-El's nephew, sent her off on her own once the planet started exploding. He had a rocket sitting in his closet or something. Just pulled it out. Here, get in this.
That's what he told the officers, anyway.
Yeah, it is. Here's Superman going over his origin back in 1948.
Yeah, he must be flying there because he's carrying that coach thing.
Yeah. He's flying by this point.
We've got a different artist here as well.
That looks like
Yeah.
Weisinger.
Can't remember. Tell by the chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different approach.
It's the same basic dress, though. That he keeps for about 20, 30 years until Byrne changes his clothes.
Where's Susanna York in this?
I don't know.
I met Susanna York, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
She was lovely.
I got nothing on the artists here in Wikipedia about who's drawn what. Which Charles was on today. Charles, where are you? Miss you, buddy. Charles would be able to look that up for me instantaneously. Anyway.
So that's Superman's mum and dad there.
Yeah, here.
Well, all over this part of the strip.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jor-El is here. Yep.
Right.
There's Lara.
The thing is why didn't they make a spaceship big enough for them all to get in?
I don't know. Honestly, couldn't tell you. It's one of those things you're not supposed to think about.
Believe me, I don't.
Don't think about it.
Yeah, just accept it. They sent the kid off on his own.
Well, you see, this is the thing. You see, I do accept it. It's just these idiots who want to rewrite everything and have Earth 59 and Earth 664,000.
I hear you.
If they just left it alone and just, we'd forgive them. Just, we don't.
It all comes down to making your stamp on a character.
Exactly.
That's what it comes down to. It's ego.
Ego.
Yeah, and the best writers have been those that have managed to allow their stamp to come through without abusing the character.
Yeah, it goes back to what you said an hour ago about it being about the actor and not the character.
Exactly.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, the writer thinks it's about them and about their message instead of the character they're writing.
Yeah, he wants to piss on his patch and claim it, doesn't he? And, look
exactly.
how great I am, and the character suffers.
This is definitely an upscaling in
Wayne Boring
artwork.
That's the one. That's
Thanks, Michael. I'm sure you're right. Wayne Boring.
That's the
story is in my reprint. Come volume 2. Excellent. Yeah, they might have taken a lot of the stats off of this book and put them in your reprint volume, Michael, if you don't have the exact same book that we have. So feel free to chime in on any kind of creator credits on this.
It's nice artwork, though, isn't it?
It is.
It is. Yeah,
it's
nice. Far more natural looking.
Yeah.
And considering a lot of the other comics that were coming out at this time, it's really, really well done.
Yeah, it's advanced, isn't it?
And you can see, maybe with hindsight, or maybe it's just me, why they got Kurt Swan on board, because he draws this kind of normal people, doesn't he? It's a bit stiff, but he does good artwork.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that car at the bottom though. What kind of a car is that?
I think
it's a jalopy.
Jalopy, yeah. Exactly.
Jalopy. It looks like something Goebbels used to drive around.
Honestly, it probably was. I mean, this was around the same time. Yeah.
So that's where he went to. He didn't die at the bunker. He got to Smallville.
1948. Yeah. And it's an old couple, so it's got to be an old car. Old jalopy.
He got dropped off there by Hitler, who was on his way to Argentina.
On his way, yeah. Let me off here at North Carolina. Oh, that's where, what's it lives? Mitch. Do you know him, Mitch?
Let's take the submarine to Kansas. It'll be good.
Yeah.
What was that? I kind of zoned out. What?
we were talking about you're not to you, Mitch.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as I'm in the conversation somehow.
Just like Mangala got smuggled into the States, changed his name to Fauci. You know.
I heard that.
Wayne Boring. Yeah. Yep. I see it now.
Yeah. Wayne Boring.
There's him on the jumping a house.
Yeah.
Like you do.
Yeah.
Oh, is
Leaving.
that his stepdad dying there?
Other page.
Top.
Yeah.
Is that his Mr. Kent?
Yeah. Both parents pass at this point.
Yeah, but in the original version, wasn't his parents like older?
Yeah. Yep. Much older. Oh, there's the bells. The chimes. The wife's home.
Best behavior now.
Yeah. Superman from the 50s. Should we call it?
Yeah, I think so.
It's been an hour and 41.
Yep. Let's do it there.
Yeah, because it's a different.
What a spread to finish on. It's good.
Different generation. Yeah.
We'll get into the crazy 50s next episode.
Yeah.
Good.
That's the doctor who cared. It really is. The third Doctor's car. Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to remember the name of it.
Bessie.
That's it. Bessie.
Yep. Yeah.
It's a little bit like Bessie.
It's got to be painted yellow though. Yep. We'll get into the 50s next episode, folks. Next Sunday.
Yep.
We'll be here.
We should have Kurt Swan coming in soon, shouldn't we? End of the 50s.
Yes. Into the 50s. Plastino is in here. Boring. And Weisinger, the primary artist. Little Kurt Schaffenberger, once he leaves Fawcett, comes over to DC. Always admired his work. Just crazy, good, solid material. Giant bugs. Crazy magic. Lots of fun. Coming up, folks. Next episode. So there we are. We will pick that up next week. They say same bat time, same bat channel. Superman. Yeah. Can't quite turn it fast enough in order for it to blur. Yeah. Says PBR says not for sure if too many folks say this to you, but thanks for the shows you guys do.
Well, thank you,
PBR. Appreciate it. We'd never get tired of hearing that. Read, enjoy, remember. Exactly right.
Yeah. Oh, hey, George.
George in the house. Great show. Thanks, George. Even if we did kind of wander off the subject into music a little. So, and Gilbert Godfrey.
Gilbert Godfrey.
whose hard rock album still has only sold maybe 150 copies.
Yeah, he gave it a go.
Yeah. Mitch, tell folks how they can find you.
Well, you can find me. here on Sundays when I'm able to make it on Sunday Funnies. You can also find me on at Linktree/Celtic Cross Studios. I'm redoing or I'm remastering and reformatting the first Boger miniseries right now, and I actually have the first issue up on the website, going to be released, or not the website, on the webcomic platforms, ready to be released this Friday. So this Friday will be the re-release or the release of the remastered first issue. And once the whole series is done, I will do a crowdfunding campaign for one collection with extra features.
All righty.
Right.
Ross, tell folks how they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me here in a very sweaty, hot UK at the moment. You can find out all about the Atlantean and all about the other stuff that we're doing over at russleach.com. There's a merch page there, so you've got direct links over to the Shadow Kingdom, the Atlantean 1 and 2 over on Amazon or via Critical Blast. And sign up for the email list there so you can keep up to all that. You can also get yourself an Only Death Can Save Us t-shirt or a mug via the shop there. So just click on the link and it'll take you off to the russleach.com shop, and you can pick up some bits and pieces there. So that's it, really. Just find me there. All the email, all the social media links are there as well. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Comic Book Black Belt, and sign up to that email list. We just want more readers for the Atlantean. That's where we're at.
There you are. Yeah. Glenn, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me on this show and on Fridays on Randy's other show, which he'll explain to you in a moment. But if you're interested in purchasing anything mine, go to Amazon. All my 12 books are on there. There's lots of magazines in there. Go to Fund My Comic. I'm on YouTube. Just put my name in Google and something will come up, and see what you think.
All right. And folks, I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. We deeply appreciate you being here. No matter when you watch us, we know a lot of you watch us after the fact, and we appreciate that too. We hope that you enjoy this program. If you do, please leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe to whatever platform you watch us on. We are archived over at the Comic Book Black Belt YouTube channel, the Randy Zim with 2 M's YouTube channel, and the Indie Comics Network that has a lot of other programming, a wide variety of stuff that you may also enjoy. Make sure, again, like I said, hit that subscribe button no matter where you're at. It's absolutely free. You don't have to pay anything for that. We don't make money doing this. We're not monetized so that we can say whatever we want or do whatever we need to do. And within reason, of course. And we do this because this work inspires us, and we love this material no matter how old it is or how silly it may seem, how much we want to even when we pick on it, we're picking on it from a standpoint of love and appreciation of where these folks were and what they did. Just imagine having to work in these conditions on comics, on a art form that you love, having to make a monthly or a weekly deadline all the time. And it's something that we really take for granted, especially in the independent and alternative markets. We do have deadlines, but they're not as breakneck as what these people were working under, especially at the point that we're looking at here. This Friday, we also have a show Friday mornings, 5 a.m. Eastern time, Comics by Night. I honestly think we're going to start looking at some Robert Crumb. So we might have to run a little adults only warning in front of it, but I think we're gonna look at it. I don't think we're gonna get into too much trouble going through that material. I think we should. It'd be a good balance, and it's just another great aspect of comics that a lot of people either don't realize was there or have totally ignored it over time, or have been told is not worth your time reading, and it is. So if you're not familiar with Crumb's work, we're going to be looking at a collection of Crumb comics from Zap Comics, which was an anthology book that a group of the trailblazing underground artists did together. We'll be looking at Crumb's contributions to that comic. So make sure you stop by then. Friday morning, 5 a.m. Robert Crumb. The book is Love to 10. First 10 issues of Zap Comics and Crumb's contributions to them. So be sure to check back then. Next Sunday, we'll be going through more Superman, more early Superman, 1950s, when it really starts getting crazier and a lot more whimsical. PBR says, quick, I feel like a drink. Show me some Al Williamson real fast. I can. And I might even have a mushroom on it. See here.
Shrooms.
There's some shrooms.
Shrooms.
Get yourself a bottle.
Pretty sure it's in there. Let me find some. No, maybe not.
Yeah, just say there are. Just say there are. Yeah, there are. Look, there you go, down the hatch.
Yeah. If you need that excuse, PBR, here we go.
There it is. He's already done it. He's gone for it, mate. As soon as we said that there we.
All right. It says down the hatch. That hit the spot. There you go. Anything to help you out. Thanks so much for watching us, folks. Deeply appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you on the next one.
Yep.
As always,
Friday.
Please try to be social on those antisocial platforms. The love and positivity goes a long way, a lot longer than negativity and trolling. That's only a short, might give you a short burst of happy chemicals or whatever, but in the long run doesn't help anybody out. Why don't you go around and spread the love? Talk about the comics that you love, the comics that you read when you were a kid, the comics that you still enjoy to this day that are good and entertaining or goofy and
Stuff
funny
like
or stuff like that. There we are.
Just
And there we go.
Bit of Buscema there. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, folks, we love this.
Buscema's in it. Yeah.
Yep. We love this business. We love this industry. We love looking at it and being a part of it. PBR says nothing like scotch this early in the morning. There you go.
Nothing like.
We all have our joys and our vices. I guess it's all good.
It's good on a cornflake.
Absolutely. Have some whiskey with your Cheerios, folks. Folks, we'll see you next time. Take care of yourself. Go visit your local retailer. Buy alternative and independent comics, especially ours. Make sure you look for fundmycomic.com. Look at some of the wide variety of campaigns that are over there. It's race cars, little toy Matchbox cars over there now too. So as well as crazy comics. We'll see everybody soon.
Das Vidania.
Take care, everyone. What's the word of the day?
Mexican word of the day, Cheetos. If you still wonder if my mother still throws a chancla at me at this age, Cheetos.
Nice beaver.
Thank you. I just had it stuffed.
Let me help you with that.
Type of holes people prefer, donut holes or Hardy's new biscuit holes?
B-hole.
Yeah.
The B-hole has it over the A-hole for sure.
Why? What do you like about it?
The A-hole seems kind of small.
Great.
I just don't like the A-holes.
B-holes are tasty and flavorful.
The A-hole is nasty.
A-hole tastes funny.
I guess I'm just kind of a B-hole kind of guy.
Introducing biscuit holes with icing. The best kind of holes money can buy. New at Hardee's.
What was John?
What's what?
What was John Denver doing there?
It's talking about his a-holes.
In the time before Atlantis sank, when the lands of this world were savage and untamed, one man would claim his destiny, seizing his place as a king. After defending his throne and learning the devastating truth of the Serpent Kingdom and its deadly cults, King Kull in his right hand ruled the Spear Slayer, make a solemn vow to hunt down and destroy the hidden empire of these serpent demons. These are the tales of those journeys. This is the Atlantean. Tales inspired by the brilliance of Robert E. Howard, featuring his first barbarian characters as introduced in the pages of his classic tale, The Shadow Kingdom. Each volume contains beautifully painted covers and around 50 pages of original black and white art and story, featuring classic sword and sorcery adventures you don't want to miss. Join us on these epic adventures and sign up now for news with the email list at russleach.com. Bring your axe and prepare for battle.
And by the way, did you ever try to hide an elephant?
You will be dead in 5 minutes.
For your information, my doctor gave me 3 years to live, and I don't intend to make a fool out of him. Come in. Is there anything I can do for you? What a ridiculous statement.
Mr. Grunion, I want you to help me.
I have a little sand left. What seems to be the trouble?
Some men are following me.
Really? I can't understand why.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit.